Welcome to Broken Tusk Rising, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition actual play in the Galarian campaign setting. We're playing through the Quest for the Frozen Flame adventure path.
I'm Jessica, and I'm playing Zancath, the Halfling Fighter.
This is Josh, and I'm playing Ivan, an orc fighter and former crusader.
I'm Ashley, and I play Aklep the Druid, a former member of the Burning Mammoth.
I'm Pavel, and I'm playing Lukalo, the Skeleton Sorcerer.
Last time on Broken Tusk Rising, the scouts explored some hilly terrain in search of the source of a campfire that they spotted from afar. What they found was an ambush by a group of burning mammoths and their grizzly bear. These burning mammoth scouts were no match for the Broken Tusks, and now they have an unconscious prisoner. The young man is lying on the ground, bleeding. In addition to the new burns that you just inflicted on him, he has a jagged burn scar running down his face, and his head has been roughly shaved bald. He's wearing tattered rags over his shoulders, waist, and lower legs, and he's barefoot. Next to him is a longbow, decorated with feathers. All right, look in Foundry. Can you see anything there?
Ooh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's convenient that we left the guy alive that you had pictures of.
I guess that is kind of nifty.
Can we tell what's hanging off of his forearm from the wrap? It looks like long teeth or something.
Yeah, I guess those are probably teeth of some kind of large animal.
Fangs.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
He's got a bunch of war paint, and he's not wearing shoes. He's got a long bow.
He doesn't look as incompetent as he was in battle.
Not everybody who's incompetent looks incompetent. You know, that's how they hide.
Indeed.
Just faking it till they make.
What do you want to do?
Aklep is a bear still.
Oh, right.
Let's start by tying him up.
Okay.
Don't set yourself on fire anymore.
I think he's unconscious at the moment, Lou. I don't think chastising him at the moment will work. Let me arouse him and see if we can tell him not to set himself on fire, among other things.
Okay. I'll chastise him after we tie him up and after he's awake.
Of course.
So you tie him up, and how are you going to wake him up?
I've got, I can do medicine. Would that do it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll do a medicine roll to try to bandage his wounds.
All right.
So 25.
That's a critical success.
Do I need to roll for hit points, or?
You can. I mean, it's not a terrible idea.
Okay.
I don't know.
So this is 4d8.
Great.
Maybe don't heal him too much. You know?
Don't make him too healthy. Come on.
I didn't plan on critically succeeding. It just happened. 21 HP.
Okay.
But he's tied up.
All right, so he is still unconscious. You're going to hit him with a rousing splash?
Yep.
All right, so he sputters awake and looks around confused. His eyes grow wide, and he focuses his attention on the bear. I know you, burned one. He spits at you. You should be dead. You'll all be dead soon enough.
Aklep bares his fangs at this burning mammoth.
I'm gonna smack him when he... just slap him across the face when he spits.
Okay.
That's rude.
You're not important anymore. Varsa has bigger plans, but you'll still all die.
Apparently we're important enough to attack.
Oh, we take our chances when we get them.
Tell me, how did you end up in this valley?
You'll get nothing but scorn from me, Tusks.
I mean, I gave you HP. I could take it away. I don't say that. I healed you, and I can take it away if I need to. Trust me. You are not in an advantageous position at the moment.
I'm not afraid to die.
Aklep is gonna, back up Zancath's threat with, snapping bear jaws near this guy's, arm or whatever.
He bares his throat, leans his head back and says, do it.
Wow, this guy is fully committed, huh?
It's what they do. It's quite exhausting, honestly.
Yes, I like him. He's hardcore.
That sounds right. You're not afraid to die, that's obviously clear. What about being left here, tied up, seeing what happens there?
You are dishonorable.
I don't know that I would point that in my direction, but Everyone has their opinions, I suppose.
If you let me go, I'll be sure to bring the burning mammoths down on you and your following. Let me fight one of you and I will spill as much of your blood as I can before I die. Kill me where I am and you prove yourself a coward. Leave me here, you're still a coward. In the end, there is nothing but defeat and humiliation for all of you.
That's pretty rich coming from a guy who's tied up on the ground.
He spits at Lou.
Hey, stop that.
I slap him again. Other cheek.
He glares at you.
That's fine.
He wants to fight me. Let him do it.
Could we have a quick little convo over here, guys? Just a quick conversation. Aklep, you can growl, I guess.
Aklep growls.
We step away from him.
Ivan will say to the guy, quick sidebar, but you're doing great.
Ivan, would you stop encouraging him? We don't want this behavior.
He looks confused.
I don't know that we're actually going to get any useful information out of him. This is kind of how they always are, honestly. It's exhausting. Any thoughts, feelings, opinions here?
Well, I don't think we can just kill him now. He's, tied up. That feels less like a fight and more like, murder.
Yes.
What if we take him back to maybe to the following, or maybe to Ivan's people? I mean, look, Aklep was one of the burning mammoths, and he's okay now. Maybe this guy just needs, some time around people who aren't all, oh, you're gonna die and we're gonna kill you all, blah, spit,
I don't love it, because I don't like the idea of introducing... Aklep was kind of a special situation. Aklep was already a little on the fence, I think. Am I correct, Aklep?
Aklep nods.
Yep, there we go. And so I don't know how easy it would be to get one of the others to fall in line, but I do agree, murder bad.
Aklep bares his teeth.
I think Aklep might not have a problem with murder, but I'm not sure how to interpret bear gestures.
Yes, it is not murder if you undo rope. Let him fight.
Aklep seems to agree.
Let me make one intimidation check so that someone rolls some dice, and then if that is bad, then we'll move on.
Okay, we'll give it a try.
Okay.
Can I assist? Because I've done intimidating things up to this point.
Sure.
Okay. That's a 13 to assist. I fail to assist.
That's correct.
You are too small.
He's out of cheeks to slap.
I slapped him several times. I didn't do full power, but that's maybe the mistake I made.
I can guidance Ivan, actually. Does that attack, perceptions? Yeah, skill check.
I think you may have guidanced him during the fight.
Did I? I don't remember.
And he's immune.
Okay.
I think I got guidanced once, but I don't remember with Ivan.
I don't remember either.
What is wrong with silly magic? Cannot guidance twice.
Mm-hmm.
Explain yourself.
Well, go ahead and roll, Ivan.
You see, bear, he can be any other animal. 29. He can be animal that goes inside your body. It will be fate far worse than death. Like, what do you hate? Snakes? Spider? Like lots of spiders. Hey, bear, can you be spiders?
Aklep nods.
You are in big trouble, boy. You better speak up now.
He looks frightened. And in fact, that's a critical success. But he will not cooperate. But what will happen is, if you want to start a fight with him, you want to untie him and have a fight, he's going to start frightened too.
Oh, boy. I feel like that should have worked, you guys. Sorry.
It was a valiant effort, Ivan. I appreciate the try.
The book is quite clear on their unwillingness to cooperate under any circumstances.
This book is yes. I don't really have any desire to fight him. He's scared of spiders. He's a little boy. This is over. Just leave him. Or let him go. I don't care.
I think it's probably been a minute, so Aklep is no longer a bear.
Okay.
I'll fight him. We can't let him go back. We don't want him to give any information about us.
Oh, heck yes. It's time for a show.
Okay.
I mean, it is what he wants. I guess that's fine.
You're going to untie him and let him fight Aklep.
How fair of a fight do you want? Do you want like a bless, a little splash of guidance, or anything?
No.
Alrighty.
Zancath does not seem pleased with this arrangement, but is letting it happen.
I'm going to roll initiative for this archer. And Aklep, feel free to roll initiative for yourself.
Okay. Aklep is really prepared.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did Aklep get?
Aklep got a 20 on his initiative roll, so total of 33.
And the archer got a 19. So, although he sort of stretches and looks nervous, particularly about fighting you, he is ready to fight, but you are more ready to fight. You get to go first.
As promised, Aklep is going to open his mouth and spew spiders from his throat.
Oh my gosh.
It is cool.
As he casts Vomit Swarm
Oh gosh.
Okay, yeah, Aklep does not need any help.
on this guy.
Okay, so what does he do?
Vomit swarms over anyone in the area. This is going to be a cone. The cone is only going to be targeting this guy. There's a reflex save
Okay, reflex
that he
save.
needs to make. And if he fails the saving throw, he also becomes sickened 1.
17.
He needed to get a 21 reflex save.
Yeah,
so he is
he's sickened.
and frightened, I hear. And he'll be taking 2d8 piercing damage.
Wow. Okay, roll that damage.
Only an 8.
All right, so you vomit spiders all over him, and he is terrified and looks panicky, and you have a third action.
Can Grifka join into this battle?
I guess that's up to you.
I'll just strike him with the dagger that Aklep has never used.
Okay.
Wait, and this is the first, so there's no, bad things?
Yeah, that's right. There's no multiple attack penalty.
Okay. That's a 21 to dagger him.
That is a hit.
Okay. 5.
Aklep vomits spiders over this man, and as he's desperately swiping away, Aklep then jabs him with a dagger. And now it's the archer's turn. He, I suppose, has his short sword. You let him have his normal weapon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a monster. Not gonna make him fight a person who with magic with his fists. That's just cruel.
All right, so he's going to sort of feebly stab at Aklep. A 16.
16 won't hit.
Yeah. Gosh, I guess he's going to try to trip you. He's going to use an athletics check. It's not going to work, but we'll try. This will be against your fortitude DC. 6. That doesn't work. And then he tries to hit you with the sword again. Rolls a 12.
Yeah, that's a no.
And he spits at you and says, "You'll die eventually, even if not by my hand."
This guy loves spitting.
All right, your turn, Aklep.
By the way, Zancath has her bow out in case this guy starts running.
Kathy, you must slap him.
I don't feel like that's in the... I agree. Shouldn't spit. But I don't think that's in the spirit of the fight, so I will refrain this time.
All right, Aklep, what are you going to do?
Let's see.
He looks woozy.
I'm right next to him. Is there a penalty for casting a spell when you're right next to someone?
If they have an attack of opportunity, then that would be the spellcasting has a manipulate trait, and he would get a reactive strike. But otherwise, no.
Okay. I will cast Produce Flame,
All right.
which is a spell attack roll.
He should be excited about that.
31. That's
Wow.
a critical.
Critical hit.
No. Aglep's not messing around today.
I feel like Aglep's maybe working through some stuff.
How does critical work?
So you just roll double damage.
Okay. Here's 4d4, and then here's another 4d4.
So that's a total of 18 points of damage. Wow. All right, well, with that, the archer is engulfed in flames and is just consumed. And he falls to the ground, laughing briefly, and then just stops moving.
That was horrifying. I've never been so glad that I can't throw up.
Grifka moves closer to the burning corpse and looks at it.
I'm gonna go look at the tents. Sandcath walks away to go look at the tents.
All right. The body continues burning.
It is what he wanted. Aklep, you are very cool, man. Just so you know.
Thanks.
Remind me of things you do not like so I make sure not to say or do them.
There are some food supplies.
Okay.
We're hand-waving food, but we can just say you restock some of your supplies.
Cool.
You find 3 of those arrows that they shot at you that sort of entangled you.
Oh, I want those.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's all you.
Someone should do a check to find out what those are.
I'll check afterwards. Go ahead.
You find a superb repair kit.
Ooh, I don't really know what that is, but I'm taking that too.
And you find 6 water skins that are full of water.
Okay. We'll take it all. Can I check out the arrows?
All right, so you add all that stuff to your supplies. You check out the arrows. I need either an arcana or religion or nature or occult check.
Nature is... I'm going to do arcana. That feels more correct. 18.
You're not sure what these are.
Okay.
Can I try to take a look? I got a pretty decent occultism check.
I guess it depends on whether Zancath is okay with that.
Oh, yeah. She shares the things that she found. Look, I found these arrows. They were using them against us, but I can't quite tell what they do.
All right.
Let me take a look at these. Yep, they're definitely arrows.
Blue gun 11.
Definitely arrows. I'll just take them with me for now and see if maybe next time we get back to camp, somebody can check them out, or maybe I'll just try them against something.
I would like repair kit, if okay.
Sure. I give him the repair kit.
You know what? These are lower level than I thought they were. I thought they were higher level. They are only level 3 magic items. So I'm actually going to say, after some further time with them, you are able to identify them, Zancath.
Cool.
They are called vine arrows.
Okay.
They do what they sound like. They do like, you've seen what they do. When you activate one of these vine arrows and it hits a target, the shaft splits and grows, wrapping the target in vines. The target takes a 10-foot circumstance penalty to its speeds for 2d4 rounds, or until it escapes against a DC of 19. On a critical hit, the target is also immobilized, so can't move at all until it escapes.
Cool. It has been added to my inventory.
All right, there are 3 of them. All right, what do you want to do now?
I think we probably start... Now we search the camp. There's nothing else to find. Head back the way we came. Well, not the way we came, because we came from the mountains. We don't want to go back into the mountains.
Yeah.
Did we check the bodies and make sure they didn't have anything cool?
Yeah, you can look over the bodies. Let's see what they have. They have longbows. There are a couple longbows. There are a couple short swords, leather armor. They have signal whistles. The animal enslaver had a whip, leather armor, some holly and mistletoe, a rope, and what about money? Do they have any money? No, they don't seem to have any coins.
I'm going to take the whip.
Okay, you take the whip.
I'll grab the rope. Never hurts to have more rope.
All right, so we're back to exploration. You have to decide where you want to go next. You've explored the west side of Lost Mammoth Valley. We're back to the overland map, the hex map. I'll let you explore nearby forest hexes with only one travel activity due to Ivan's familiarity with the area. There are some hexes to the east of the forest that you've seen from afar but haven't explored them yet. You haven't resolved the problem with the angry spirits at the stone circle, and you're still looking for the Dryad's brother somewhere.
I believe our plan last time was to go to the stone circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stone circle's in there?
Yes, that's where the stone circle is.
Okay.
So I think that for Mike's sanity, we should continue to do the thing that we said we would do.
I agree.
I've prepped beyond that just to be safe. All right, so you're going to travel 1 day, 2 days to reach the plains that the river is flowing through.
Hey, is anyone's birthday coming up or anything? I want to make sure I have enough time to get a present.
Where would you get a present out here?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I can get some honey. Maybe we can find. Well, I guess no more animals. I guess the camp's already full of animals. Maybe like a neat stick. I don't know.
Mine was 2 days ago.
Oh, and you didn't tell us. Come on. I guess we got you a guy to, vomit spiders on.
Yes. Good birthday.
Eklep, you're too quiet. You need to speak up when it's your birthday. Now we feel we don't even have a card for you. This is really awkward.
So after a couple days of traveling and pondering birthdays, you reach the stone circle. It takes 2 days. Just as before, there is a circle of monumental standing stones, each representing a different regional deity. Hundreds of small piles of stones and bones are scattered around the outside of this circle, just as before. In the middle of the monumental stone circle is a smaller circle of little stones, and that circle is 15 feet in diameter.
I have the medallion that we recovered from the Griffin's Nest, so I'm going to tell the party.
Right, you have that holy symbol.
Okay, so I think this is what the spirits want.
I think you're correct. Lou, would you like me to take it in? Or throw it in? Or do you want to? I don't really know what we're supposed to do here. I don't have a lot of conversations with spirits.
I feel like I feel kind of like bound to these people. They, I had the experience. I was one of them. I felt myself being lifted by the griffins. It feels right that I should be the one to return it. But just in case, I'm going to tie a rope to myself, and if bad things happen, yank me out.
Sure.
So I tie the rope to myself, give one end to Zancath, and I'm going to hold out...
She's going to give it to Ivan.
Good point. Good point.
I know my strengths. It's not strength.
He's not very heavy. You could pull him.
I'm just bones.
I mean, probably, but just better not to take the risk. I'll assist.
Yep, and I'm gonna pull my cloak back, and I'm gonna hold out the amulet in my hand, holding it outwards, and step into the area past the big stones. Yeah, and I step in past the big fallen stone.
Okay, so as soon as you step in, just as with your last visit, you have a sense that something is wrong. If you had hair on your arms, or anything on your arms, your hair would stand up, and you see some rocks nearby begin to levitate in the air. And you hear that voice again say, "Bring him back, return him." But you're holding out this religious symbol in front of you, and there's suddenly a gasp, and then a sigh of relief, and that tension leaves the air, and those levitating rocks fall to the ground. A faint, ghostly figure in robes appears in the middle of this inner circle of stones, and he looks around and then floats toward you, Lou.
I continue holding out the amulet.
"Greetings, visitors. I am Jodrin of the Burning Mammoths, priest of the Lee of Honored Souls. In life, I tended this sacred place, helping visitors and calming the spirits by making sure their lives were remembered. When the Burning Mammoth stopped following this route many years ago, I stayed to maintain the Lee, until griffins attacked, carrying me off, and the spirits grew restless. Without my presence and my holy symbol, my soul could not properly memorialize the spirits. You must have brought it with you. Yes, that's it. Thank you. Not all who come this way have been so kind. Many have been cruel. Some have been especially cruel. May the Earth Mother protect you."
Thanks. Who's been by that's been cruel to your sacred site?
There was a burning mammoth who passed through the valley long ago, carrying a cursed flaming lamp. He was bound to a demon of darkness. He did not pass through the Lee of Honored Souls. Rather, he avoided the waymarkers that marked the ancient route, and he went northeast instead, passing around Mount Galiok. I do not know where he went thence, but he left the valley through the White Dragon's Den, leaving the lamp behind. His passage has changed the valley. Plants grow where they previously struggled, The weather has warmed and winter has ceased to exist.
Yeah, I got some bad news about the burning mammoths. I think that your experience with them does not match our experience with them. So, sorry for the bad news.
Perhaps times have changed. It has been a long time.
How long ago did you die?
It is difficult when dead to track the years. Many decades.
Do you mind if my friends come into the circle and speak with you as well?
Of course, all are welcome.
Okay.
And Lou's gonna wave to the rest of the party.
Okay, everyone, things are good. The priest is back. He's been reunited with his holy symbol, and now the angry spirits are at peace, and there's not going to be any more rock throwing.
Sandcast steps into the circle.
Yeah, Clep will too.
I'm glad we were able to assist you, children. Could you tell us anything else? You said the man, the cursed burning mammoth, didn't pass through this way. Do you know anything more that might assist us with where he went or what he did?
I do not know any more than what I was told by other passing visitors. He went around the mountain in the middle of the valley, passing to the north of it. The burning mammoth path, the route that the following would take, went through the mountain, over the mountain, through a mountain pass known only to the following. If you follow the waymarkers, you'll see it. But as for the demon man, I do not know what happened to him.
Understood. I'm sure that you were busy here tending your Lee. I'm glad we were able to assist you.
Very well. I wish you luck in your journey, and so do the spirits. One more thing. Could you make a pile of stones for me, like the others you see outside the monumental circle, and bury my holy symbol in it?
Of course.
Would you prefer that to be in the circle or outside?
No, outside the circle with the others, please.
Of course.
Okay, so you're going to do that?
Yeah.
Yep. Lou gathers up some rocks and makes a little pile and places the amulet under the stones.
He watches and nods approvingly when you're done. And once you place the holy symbol inside the stones, he floats toward Lou and nods at him and pulls a ghostly ring from his finger and tosses it to Lou. Do you catch it?
Yep.
In your hands, the ring suddenly becomes solid, and he smiles at you, then fades away. The ring is elaborately carved ivory with an opal set in it, and I think I have a picture of it.
Ooh, it looks nice.
Yeah,
It's a nice-looking ring.
Yeah, it is.
It'll match my finger bones.
Yeah, bone on bone.
Can I inspect it and see what it might do?
Sure, you can make an Arcana, Religion, Nature, or Occultism check.
Let's do religion. I have a +9 in religion.
Like bonus strength.
That's a 15 religion check.
You're not sure what it is. It's very nice, but you're not sure what it is.
If you'll show it off, I'll take a look at it as well.
Yeah, as he fades away, I kind of hold it out and like,
Hey, look, I got a present.
I'll do an Arcana. It's 25.
All right, Zenketh, you're looking it over, and you're pretty sure this is a spirit sight ring. That's one word, spirit sight. And you should be able to look that up in the compendium, Lou, and add that to your inventory. When in the presence of an incorporeal creature, like a ghost or something, even if it is within a solid object, this ring tickles the wearer's finger and it becomes translucent, giving the wearer a vague sense of the presence of some incorporeal creature. It does not pinpoint location. It acts more like a vague sense, like scent. An incorporeal creature could try to hide from this using stealth against your perception DC. It gives you a +2 item bonus for perception checks against hidden or undetected incorporeal creatures within 30 feet.
that is very cool.
We can sell it for 225 gold.
It's a pretty valuable item.
I would never.
In this low magic adventure, this is a pretty valuable thing.
Cool. Okay, I have a question about Foundry. In my inventory, next to this thing, there's a little gem icon that says toggle investment. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I'm going to click it. Okay, I've invested 1 out of 10. Is this like a attunement, maybe?
I don't know what that means. Invest an item. You invest your energy in an item with the invested trait as you don it. This process requires one or more interact actions, usually taking the same amount of time it takes to don the item. Once you've invested the item, you benefit from its constant magical abilities as long as you... Yeah, so this is like attunement in 5e Dungeons & Dragons.
Okay.
For most invested items, the only requirement is you must be wearing the item. It lasts until you remove the item. You can invest no more than 10 items per day. Yeah, so you can wear up to 10 powered items, I guess, magic items that require investment. So now you have one.
Okay, so yeah, I guess next time I'm looking for anything, if there is something hidden, I guess you'll have to keep in mind the +2 item bonus since I won't know.
Yeah, I will let you know if it's tickling your finger.
That's very cool. That was very kind of him.
Sounds kind of annoying to me, actually, but...
Yeah,
Yeah, you get an itchy finger.
Yeah.
Walk through like a haunted graveyard, just constantly itching, like, stop it, I know.
All right, so it looks like you've lain the spirits to rest. Where do you want to go next?
Ooh, check off our to-do list.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
All right, yeah. How many side quests do we have now? We got to return the seed to the person's brother.
To the east of the mountain. So we
Yeah.
haven't really gotten there yet.
All right, so we did pretty good.
Is that all that we have other than explore the valley?
Yeah, I think we've really knocked down our side quests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So proud of us.
We're doing a good job.
I think we should go to the mountain next. Try to get a view of what's further east before we dive into it.
Okay.
Maybe we can find that burning mammoth path that they were taking through the mountain pass.
Might be something up there.
I think we had seen a waypoint passing that way, and I think that would be the way we would get to the path.
Right, you did find a waypoint on the other side of the river, and it pointed toward the mountain. If you want to travel to the mountain, the fastest way to go is to follow that waypoint, or waymarker, because it shows you where to go, and because Ivan knows the forest pretty well, and you can move through it with just one move. So you move to the forest hex next to the mountain. That takes you one day, and then you begin the arduous task of making your way up into the foothills and then up this mountain. It's going to take 4 days to get across the mountain hex and 4 days to reconnoiter it.
Yeah.
So you've traveled to the edge of the mountain hex, and now it looms overhead. As you approach the mountain, you spot a 12-foot tall pile of stones with a flat stone disc on top, standing out from the low brush that covers the area. It's another waymarker. This one depicts Evgi the Owl, a 4-star constellation. The hand points toward the mountain, but not to the peak. Rather, it points slightly to the south, and then you think you can see remnants of an ancient, little-used trail.
We head for that trail.
You follow the path, and it leads to a hidden pass leading up and around the mountain. And over the next few days, you follow this path as it switches back and forth, but even as it climbs, it stays concealed from the world below and shelters you from the mountain winds.
We're on the south side of the mountain, right?
That's right, you're on the south side of the mountain. After walking down this path for an hour, you spot what appear at first to be strange statues lining the trail, but then you realize they are carved mammoth tusks, with their bases buried so they stand up like twisted tree trunks. The carvings depict heroic figures leading mammoths and warriors, or harvesting wild plants, or healing the wounded camp followers. Do you want to do anything with these mammoth tusks, or anything else you want to do while you're climbing this mountain? Ascending the mountain, I should say.
Can we confirm these are broken mammoth things?
Burning mammoth? Yes.
Burning mammoths.
Yeah, roll a society check.
Oof. Lou is not good with society, either mechanically or in general. Oh, that's an 8.
An 8.
Zancath got a 27.
That makes sense.
Lou, you just don't know much about these broken tusks. I mean, you don't recognize these things. You haven't heard all their stories. But Zancath, you've been in the following a long time. You recognize heroes from famous campfire stories you've heard at Broken Tusk camps. You recognize Grimlow the Bold and Trisuna the Long-Fingered. Grimlow the Bold, of course, a famous warrior. He could lift a mammoth, they'd say. And Trisuna the Long-Fingered, a mischievous figure known for getting into trouble but always doing the right thing in the end. You recognize these as what you thought of as Broken Tusk heroic figures, but obviously would have been Burning Mammoth figures before the following split.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Does Aklep know the same figures?
You do, assuming you pass a society check.
Who knows?
Well, I mean, you recognize them if you pass a society check. If Zancath just says, oh yeah, that's Grimlow the Bold, and then you recognize those characters as well.
Oh yeah, she'll say who they are and give a little spiel about their stories.
Okay.
That she's heard.
Aklep knows these characters too.
Yes. I like the tricky one.
It's strange to think just how much the two followings, the history that exists there, and yet the animosity now is... There's so much in common, and yet they refuse to see it. I don't understand it.
You continue down the pass, and then you hear something. It's a familiar sound, the rumble of many mammoths striding purposefully forward. You can hear what sounds like a herd of mammoths.
Maybe we should get out of the way.
Yeah, we're gonna try to scooch to the side, get up on something if we can.
Okay. You try to move to the side, but strangely you can hear this sound coming from all around you. And then you hear the sound of a campfire crackling. And then merry laughter and the sounds of little footsteps of children running past you. And at first you can't see anything. There's nothing here, just all these sounds. And then you begin to see them walking beside you, walking around you. An entire following sort of fades into view. Men, women, children, and mammoths all walking next to you. A tall man wearing furs, looking somewhat like Grandfather Ewa, smiles at you, Zancath, and points down the path.
There are... there's some tears in Zancath's eyes as she looks at him, and she nods and looks... I don't know. It's just all these people, like it feels right. So she takes a second just to take in the sights around her and then moves forward in the direction identified.
A slender woman walks next to Ivan and mimes being impressed by his height. And then she rests her hand on his shoulder and then gestures down the path. Aklep, an elderly man with the tools of a healer, dismounts from a mammoth and then gently touches your face and points down the path. He nods at you and then climbs back on the mammoth. And I don't know if Aklep notices this, maybe everyone else does, but for a moment, Grifka seems to fade and flicker from existence, but then he returns.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Aklep starts to walk down the path.
Lou, these strange figures have appeared out of nowhere, and they seem to be avoiding you. But eventually, a small girl walks up to you, though she looks frightened, and she holds out her hand.
I reach my hand out, trying to look as non-threatening as possible.
She gently grabs your hand and tugs you forward with the others through the mountain pass. And you travel across this pass for some time. It's hard to know how much time passes, maybe an hour. And then the vision fades as the long row of Mammoth Tusk statues comes to an end. You all gain a +1 status bonus to will saving throws for the next 24 hours.
Ooh.
And that evening, you camp on the side of the mountain. You're partway up. You have a little bit of a view if you leave the trail and go to the mountainside looking down. You have a little bit of a view down into the forest and the plains below. Do you want to have a fire on the mountain tonight? It's not particularly cold.
Probably best to avoid it.
Is there any way we can, anywhere we can put it where it would be hard to see, like it would be protected from sight?
Sure. Yeah, you can set it back away from the cliffside under a rock overhang.
At least for making dinner, then we'll douse it before we rest.
Okay. Anything in particular you want to do at camp tonight? Maybe everybody's just really quiet.
Yeah, Lou is wondering if all those people, if those are memories of people, or if it means that all those people died trying to, go get through this pass.
Zancath is not quiet. She is telling stories, and as long as nobody stops her, she tells a lot of stories from, personal stories from her time with the following, but also the legends and the stories that have been passed down. So some might relate to the things they saw. Just she is She is talkative and telling a lot of stories.
Lou's paying attention.
But why was his finger so long?
It's not that the fingers were actually long. It's more of a, just a way of describing them so that you understand that they were tricky and could get away with things.
Ah, I see. Okay.
I mean, it's possible that the fingers were actually long. I assume that it's just a nickname and not an actual fact, but I suppose it could be. I wasn't around then.
Okay, makes sense.
All right, so you hear some stories of Trasuna the Long-Fingered, and the next day you resume climbing the mountain. You continue up the pass. There's a couple more days of that. You're also sort of reconnoitering the area as you go. You can't really climb it and then go back and reconnoiter the whole area. So we're sort of mixing the two together here as you follow the pass. And on the 15th of Erastus in the morning, you turn a corner of this trail, and suddenly you have an unbroken view of the east end of the valley. You can see stretching away below you forests and plains, but before you can really take it all in, a strong wind suddenly kicks up, blowing dust and small rocks around you. There's a voice on the wind, though you can't understand what it's saying, but it sounds angry. And in fact, you have to roll for initiative.
Yeah.
Dang it.
This all seemed too easy up to that point.
Ruining this beautiful view.
Right?
I assume we've long rested at this point.
That's
several
right.
times.
You should all have your spells back. You should all be back at full hit points.
I shouldn't need anything that comes from that, but I'll hit the button anyway.
You're sort of to the southwest corner of the map, and you can see what look like whirlwinds or dust devils spinning toward you. Zancath, what'd you get?
30.
All right, and then one of these dust clouds got a 29. Aklep, what did you get?
26.
Ivan?
21.
And then Lou?
Lou got a 20.
And then another one of these dust clouds got an 18, which means that Zancath, you get to go first. You can see these dust clouds angrily moving toward you and whispering something on the wind that sounds like they're really unhappy with you.
Okay.
But you can't imagine why.
No. Can I do some kind of check to try to figure out what these guys are?
Yeah, you could do, I think a nature check would probably be ideal here.
Okay, I can do that. 24.
24. You recognize that these are living whirlwinds. They're a kind of air elemental. And they're speaking to you in Susurran, the language of the elemental plane of air. But I don't think any of you speak that. Or maybe you might have Auran, A-U-R-A-N, on your character sheet, depending on whether it's using the pre-remaster or post-remaster
Nope.
rules.
I took normal. I took normal languages.
Right. Why would you take the elemental plane of air language, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they're whispering something. However, as you're figuring all this out, you do remember that Andreas warned you something about this, about a vision he'd had.
Oh, wait. Scrolling back. Here's our conversation. That's the vantage point. That's the griffins. Okay, there's the long conversation. Amulet. Been meditating a lot. Mountain in the valley with winds that are angry and fearsome. Do well to be aware of them, but they are victims of the primordial flame. Foes there may have shreds of goodness in them.
So, remembering that, and because you took such good notes, you think you might be able to calm them down, although it's going to be hard if you don't speak Susurran.
Yeah. Yes. I would like to... Okay, so Zancath is going to hold her hands out, palms up, to show that she's not holding any kind of weaponry, and bow her head to them and try to communicate some kind of "we come in peace."
Okay, so it sounds like you're trying to make some kind of diplomacy check.
It does sound like that.
So perhaps a roll.
Roll indeed. 14.
Don't think that they are catching your gist, although I guess you could try again.
I would like to try again.
Your third action.
Yep, she is communicating this stuff with the group, like, oh, Andreas warned us about them. We might be able to calm them, but I don't speak their language. She's communicating all this. 16, 2 better.
I'm afraid this is not good enough.
No?
They look like they're just sort of slowing down a little bit as you're making all these gestures. Like maybe they're trying to understand what it is that you're trying to communicate, but they don't appear to have settled down in general.
Yeah. Okay, it's my turn.
All right. The first living whirlwind, which one is that? All right, the one to the rear, swiftly flows forward. It moves incredibly fast. It moves just north of Zancath, and all around it within a 25-foot area, there's just dust and dirt and small rocks flowing all over the place, but it doesn't seem to have any other effect on you other than just making it really annoying to stand within that radius of 25 feet.
Sure.
It then uses an effect on you. You feel a powerful wind strike you and Ivan. So I need you both to make fortitude saves.
Okay.
31.
17.
17. So 31 is a success. 17 is a failure.
Uh-huh.
So
Too busy trying to calm them down.
Zancath, you are knocked 10 feet backward and you fall prone.
Okay.
There's no effect on Ivan. That's the end of that creature's turn. Aklep, what do you want to do?
Aklep also wants to try to calm the angry winds, as Zancath has reminded him that that's a thing.
So you're making a diplomacy check?
You know, unless there's another option.
It's up to you to come up with other options, but you know a diplomacy check is an option.
Nature is, these are wind,
Okay.
and I am a druid.
Okay. I'll tell you what, if you make a nature check and you do really well, maybe I'll give you a bonus, or I'll lower the DC of your diplomacy check.
Worth a try, because let me tell you, Aklep not trained in diplomacy.
What?
Yeah, shocker.
Wow.
32 for the nature check, which is why
Nice.
we like nature
It's a
things.
critical success on your nature check. In fact, I'm going to tell you about some things these creatures can do in addition to giving you a bonus on your attempt to use diplomacy on them. They have an ability called Forceful Winds, which can move targets 10 feet back and knock them prone. They can also attack using a gust of wind that causes damage. And they're likely to try to do things like knock you off of cliffs or knock you toward the other wind so they can both attack you while you're prone.
They're awfully mean.
You want to attempt a diplomacy check then?
I would.
All right, go for it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wow.
Well, as I said, Aklep is not trained in diplomacy, and he rolled a natural one.
No, I'm afraid that whatever you've done, they are interpreting as hostile. What do you think you've done that is upsetting them?
Aklep tried to mimic their language and talk and the sounds that they were making, and I guess he said something offensive.
All right, so they are not happy about whatever you said. You have one more action. I think the consequence of that is going to be that your diplomacy checks are just not very effective.
Oh, good. Aklep doesn't want to make anything worse.
Okay.
He is going to look for an exit. How do we get out of here?
Okay, you could head to sort of to the south.
Okay, yeah. Aklep is going to move south.
Ivan, it's your turn.
This is a...
Oh, and Aklep says, "Don't get knocked off the cliff." He says it in Aklep's voice, not mine. Sorry.
What happened to Eklep? Ivan doesn't know what to do. This is awkward. He prefers when it's just like, bad things smash. And so Ivan will take a step forward, raise a shield, and hold a hand up. And should he intimidate it? Maybe he shouldn't. Kathy, are you going to keep talking or is it time to kill?
I would like to try at least one more time, but you can do what you want.
Okay. Total defense.
Okay. So no other actions?
I don't really have anything else.
I mean, you could move if you wanted.
Me talking is... No, I'm fine where he's at. So Ivan moved up to the wind creature and is just raising his shield up.
Okay.
He's trying to be good. He's trying to be a good boy.
Lou, it's your turn.
Lou is going to cast Calm to try and calm these critters down.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm not going to include Ivan in this because I don't think it makes a difference between hostile and allied. And now this whirlwind has to make a DC 21 will save.
All right. 15. That's a failure.
Awesome. Any motion effects that would affect the creature are suppressed, and the creature can't use hostile actions. And if the target is subject to hostility from any other creature, Luke glares at Ivan, it ceases to be affected by calm.
Okay. So the wind sort of settles down.
And then Lou's gonna use his last action to move behind this convenient rock, just in case.
Sure.
All right, so this last whirlwind floats quickly up to Ivan, but also moves into this area. Does this effect persist?
I will have to sustain it. I'm trying to figure out if a creature steps into it, whether it would affect it. I mean, it's a 10-foot burst, and it stays put. I would imagine so.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so I'm going to make another will save. 29. So this creature is not affected.
Is that critical success or regular success?
Well, I don't know. What's your DC?
21.
So, no, it's not a critical success. It would need to be a 31 to be a critical success.
Then it just gets a -1 stats penalty to attack rolls.
All right, is there an effect that is listed as, like,
No.
stunned or anything? No, just -1.
No, just -1.
So first, it tries to hit Ivan. It's moved, and now it attacks. Is it 29 to hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
That hits.
Got your shield up, though.
Yeah, you do have your
Yes.
shield up. So the damage is 18 points of damage.
Oofa.
Wow.
That is too much.
And then with its third action, it tries to push you because it was successful at striking you. So it attempts a shove attack, which means it gets an athletics attempt against your fortitude DC. So here comes... Well, wait a second.
Oh.
Oh, I hate this. So it attempts an athletics check, but it doesn't have an athletics skill.
You just use the strength bonus.
I guess, yeah. I guess I'll just roll strength.
It'll suck.
4.
Yikes.
Attempts to shove you and fails. Okay. Alright, so that is the end of the creature's turn. It feebly attempts to shove Ivan. Zancath, it's your turn.
Oh, can I try to... Let me just try to do this just so I learn how to do it. Sorry, Zanka.
Go ahead.
So after Ivan blocks,
Yes.
he can push back.
Oh,
It's a powerful shove.
okay.
But why would I do this? Why did I pick this ability? Ask Josh. I think the idea was to position things between him and Kathy.
Yeah. Well, you could also use it to make one of these creatures burn an action to move back up next to you.
That's true. That's an excellent point. Thanks, Mike, for helping me play this. So, what a creature... Okay, you can push around. You can use aggressive block. Okay, so I had to do 2 feats to be able to do this. So when I use shield block, I can push back. You can use a shield block trigger action. Either shoving at 5 feet. But how does it work?
If it's shove, you make an athletics check against their fortitude DC.
Okay. Sweet. That seems simple enough. And I think the other part is just I can maybe direct them or something. I don't know. Oh, only 17 though, so probably didn't work. All that for nothing.
Not a success. It's hard to push the wind away.
It is so hard to push
Yeah.
wind. Okay, that was worth... I'll read up on this ability and learn how it works now that I've used it once.
The current situation is that Ivan has a calmed whirlwind directly to his north, and a still upset whirlwind to his east. And they are both inside that calm magic area that Lou has created. Ivan is trying to hold them off. The whirlwind that is calm directly to his north just sort of floats there, and the dust and dirt around it settles down. Zancath, it's your turn.
I'm gonna kind of crawl to my knees, but not stand up, because I don't want to use the action, and try to diplomacy them again and say, please, we don't mean you any harm. I'm sorry for what's happened to you. We're going to try to take care of the primordial flame, and perhaps it will free you. Please, we mean you no harm. And roll diplomacy. It's an 11.
No.
I've got a +8. These rolls are really terrible. I'm gonna try again.
Okay.
More imploringly. 23!
All right, with the 23, the calmed wind looks at the upset wind. I don't know. I guess it sort of directs the wind toward the upset one, right? And there's sort of an air flowing back and forth for a moment. And then all around them in this 25-foot radius, the air just sort of settles down. All the dust settles to the ground. The rocks stop flying around. And the two spirits, the two wind gusts, just turn into a gentle breeze and disappear. And the mountain is now calm. And, in fact, you can see the wind sort of blows the dust off of this trail you've been following and leaves you a clear path ahead.
Excellent.
So as the dust settles to the ground and you experience this gentle breeze, you can now safely have a look around from this vantage point.
Excellent.
Woo.
And I guess we'll see what you find in 2 weeks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Tales of Bob. You can help the podcast by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, by following us on Blue Sky, Facebook, and Instagram at The House of Bob, or by chatting with us on Discord, and most of all, by supporting us on Patreon. That's at patreon.com/thehouseofbob. The show is possible due to all our patrons who get exclusive one-shots, campaigns, and other cool stuff. You can also listen to the House of Bob podcast, which, unlike Tales of Bob, is not clean, but is a lot of fun, with campaigns in different systems, such as D&D, Pathfinder, The Sprawl, Frontier Scum, and more. Art for this episode, audio production, and music are by Mike. Thanks again for listening, and roll on.
But there were 4 bedrolls.
Yes.
Yeah, that's worrisome.
Do we think someone's missing? Do we see someone's stuff? Like 4 people's stuff?
I don't know. They just seem to have an extra bedroll.
Does the bedroll look like it's been slept in, or is it just kind of rolled up in the corner?
Am I
Just in
missing
case
something
situation?
here? No, there's just 3 people. Yeah, 4 bedrolls and only 3 people. It doesn't look like anything else is missing. It looks like there's only enough equipment here for 3 people, but there's an extra bedroll.
Is the 4th one covered in bear fur?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the bear was, in fact, just a bear. I looked really
Yes.
hard for that last time.
You're pretty confident it was just a bear.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe one was bedwetter and just extra.
Okay.
No judgment.
Ooh. It's a cool
This
map.
map looks cool. I like this art style.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a map I found online for a mountaintop. Because,
Thank you,
of course,
Daniel.
once again, this adventure didn't come with all the maps you need.
Yeah.
All right, can I take a moment to complain that they have 42 different conditions and they couldn't think of one of them to apply that I could put in Foundry? They just wanted to do a special circumstance penalty.
I was just about to say, wow, there's not a calm condition? I'm surprised. It's okay. Pathfinder 3 will fix that.
Make him frightened. His heart's just not in it.
Aklep is asking Grifka why he doesn't speak to other elementals.
Yeah. Look at you, buddy.
Yeah, Grifka just burns. Why would you want to speak to air elementals? Yuck. Gross.
He should be pretty friendly with air because, he needs air to burn. So,
That's true.
of the elementals that he could be friends with, I think air's at the top of the list.
Maybe.